Welcome to episode 2 in the Minecraft add-on series. Today we're taking a quick visit to MineKEA. So as we approach here and break the glass, the first thing your eye will be drawn to is the windmill at the back here. We will get to that because it is quite exciting, but there's so much to talk about and display today that I want to try to keep it as concise as possible. So if we get straight into it, there's combination rocks here, so you can take two different rock types and combine them to give this lovely pattern, and I think that really kind of lends itself to the overall kitchen feeling. There are placeable blocks that relate to the kitchen, so here we've a placeable cooked chicken, we've got some brooms, and we've got a working cookie jar, so the jar actually spawns empty and you can place cookies in it. We've got this lovely lamp up here that gives a nice glow, and it actually is interactive. The curtains are too, so you can imagine a window being here, for example. We have a stove. I don't think it works, I haven't tried it. We've got a sink and we've got some cupboards, which again really kind of lend themselves to the kitchen feel. It kind of breaks up the chests everywhere feeling to Minecraft sometimes, and they are functional, so it'd be really good for food storage. Before we get into the kind of bedroom side of things, I want to touch on the living room. Or kind of just open spaces. So here we have this, large, I think it's spruce table, yep, and a working candle that can be ignited with a flint and steel. To kind of match the living space feel, there's different carpets. So there are carpets already in Minecraft, but these are textured. And I think they actually have a bit of depth to them. That is different steps, whereas the current Minecraft carpet is just one level. There's different wallpapers, so I just picked 3 just to display them. And again, another working candelabra here, which can be ignited and extinguished. We have these lovely dividers, and I think these are going to be so huge for our Forever World series, for giving different feelings to different areas. And what's really cool about these is that they actually join together seamlessly. Similarly, we have beams, and the beams join together, so you can see this spruce beam transitions into the iron beam, and similar here you've got cherry transitioning into oak, transitioning into spruce, which is just, as a builder, it's just massive. I hate how fences and walls can't be joined in Minecraft, and this just scratches an itch for me. There's these lovely stairs then, and they actually transition pretty well. They can be a little bit finicky, so they're not like normal stairs, you do have to climb them, but I think these are going to be really useful for watchtowers and lookouts and stuff like that, if we're going for that kind of defensive vibe to some of our towns. Different blinds here again with glass behind them, they'll look really cool. And then you can see the different wood textures, so obviously this is spruce and this is crimson wood. There's different woods and therefore different textures to the furniture in this add-on. We have beds, which, rather than doing 2 beds in Minecraft, this is just 1 queen size, and you can vary the color of the duvets, which I think is really nice. And, it's the whole spectrum. It's not just like 2 or 3 different colors. I'm assuming you can dye these. I haven't tried it out yet. But, yeah, lots of options here for builders. We have shelves. We've seen them in the kitchen as well. So shelves in different types of wood. And they're functional, so you can place a shelf and then place decorations on the shelves. Again, the lights are functional. And what's cool about these shelves is that you can, if you break them, if you want to have 2 shelves rather than just one big massive one, the game automatically creates that for you. And then you place a block and it goes away again, so that's really cool. We have these banners as well. So like straight away, just the verticality of this add-on. We've all this stuff to look at down here, but then you look up and there's already so much detail. We've got this rope here that transitions again perfectly into the beam, and we have these lovely banners, which I think will do a really good job of giving villagers a kind of more alive feel to them. It's gonna be really nice to decorate with these in public areas in our towns. A little bit more furniture, so you've got bedside tables, you've got stools, you've got lamps that work, chairs that are functional, which is class. You've got wardrobes here, so I think this is I forget what the timber is called, but it's functional nonetheless. Again, it is only a single storage space, but you know, you can do a lot with this wardrobe. This barred door, massive. It's not gonna let me close it. There we go. Really cool. I'm assuming we can put something across here. I haven't tried it yet, but like, this is just so much better than the normal doors that we have in Minecraft. Paired this with our secret doors mod from episode 1, it's going to be massive. You've got these lovely signs as well for taverns and stuff like that. And this whole area, except these blocks, this whole area is lit by chandeliers you can see along here. Again, they can be ignited and extinguished. We've all these different plushies, so I think we'll just use them anyway because they're cute, but tons of different types, you know, to give a kind of more, again, just a more lived in feel. We've got harps, we've got telescopes, instruments, garden gnomes, and if we jump up here, you've got weapons as well. Just not only do we have all the furniture to fill out a room, we also have decorations then to make the room feel lived in. If we come down here very quickly, then you can see we have different coloured bookcases, which I think should be in the default game. Bookcases, I believe, are only in oak, whereas this is spruce, I think. Just really lends itself to, you know, the vibe of the room. We've got different wood types as well, so speaking of that, you know, the vibe of the room. You don't want to have wooden planks on the wall, wooden planks on the floor. No, we want a little bit of texture, and these blocks really lend themselves to that. All these different plank types. We've got lovely fences as well, so these aren't standard fences. And I'm assuming, yeah, we can jump these. So if we're using these with animals, the animals will be able to jump over them. I guess if you're going for a more modern vibe, there's these couches. I think if we are using these, we won't go with such vibrant colours. I want to create like a Gryffindor common room kind of feel to it. So the darker colours I think will come into play. Again, the beds, so on this side we varied the duvet colours. This is the variations in wood. So you've bamboo, birch, all these different types coming all the way down here. Different vibes. So this could be, you know, a medieval tavern, an elven kingdom, even this, you know, a royal kind of castle. It's got a more royal feel to it than this one, for example, you know. So it just lets us, I guess, role play a little bit more. And just to showcase the beams here again, they're not just horizontal, they're also vertical, and they transition very well into that. I don't know. Oh, it does. It wasn't working for me earlier, so the fences work, or the gates I should say. And what I will say about this mod, or this add-on, is that the hitboxes are a little bit sensitive. Just a touch. But, you know, we can deal with that. So I'm clicking there, for example, and it's not working. It seems to be just a little bit of trial and error. Here we have some couches, so again, I don't know how much we'll use these if we're going for a kind of more rustic vibe, but they're there nonetheless to be used if we do want to create like a great library kind of feel. These are pet beds. I don't know if they work, but I sure hope they do, because when we tame some cats and dogs, I would love to see these work. These juices, I forget exactly what they're called. Yeah, and I can't select them. But these are like essentially casks, you know, for making juices. We have our working watermill here, so as long as there's a current, the wheel will turn. I haven't reversed the current to see if it turns that way, but we can figure that out in the main series. Really cool. Again, just makes our villages feel dynamic. There's a watermill. Why? Because the villagers need flour to make bread. You know, it just gives it such a dynamic, vibrant feeling. And similarly here with the windmill, you know, again, we could have a big wheat farm, and then in the center of that wheat farm we have our windmill, or, you know, rotating the stone that makes wheat into flour. Really, really cool. And, you know, you can imagine walking from afar into a village and seeing these kind of things moving. It just makes it feel vibrant and like it's actually lived in. So, last but not least, something I'm really excited for is it's not just furniture, it's also outdoor placeables and kind of gardening. So you have your little carriages here. I don't think we can attach donkeys or anything like this to these. I don't think that's the case. We can try, but I don't think these move. This fountain works. Amazing. You got these lovely log stacks, so you know, for our kind of blacksmith area, or even just an open fire or campfire, we can place these logs. We've got paths here as well. You can do a lot in Minecraft Vanilla with paths, you know, to make it kind of worn, like to make the grass feel worn. But these are going to help us a lot as well. Like leading up to Noel's Tower, for example, these will be very nice. You can see the textured patterns here, so I mentioned them over there in the corner. This is the textured wood patterns that are available to us. And then, again, functional chest. So it's a slab chest, and you can see some of the different crops here. We've got tomatoes, we've got cabbages, or juices here, as you can see. So it's not just furniture, there are some additional seeds and stuff like that. The watering can, I haven't tried it, I don't think I can pick it up. And then we have our planters here as well. You know, so different flowers and bushes and stuff like that. We have our lovely hanging baskets here with the different flowers in them as well. And they kind of just work seamlessly. And this is some sort of vine, I forget the name of it. But I'm assuming this will grow over time. And while we're here, I'll show you the ivy as well, which for our summer court build, the ivy is going to be critical. So let's come back over here to show you the bit that captivated me, the bit that caught my attention. You know, this up until now, you know, you had me curious, now you have my attention, is these roofs. And I might just come up, if I can, I'll come up to this height just so you can see it a bit better, and the snow's will have to ruin it for me. This is what convinced me to get this add-on, is these roofs. So, you know, you can do a lot with stairs in Minecraft, but arguably not enough. And even the greenhouse here, you know, if you might, in your first Minecraft world, you might have built a house underwater made out of glass, and it was just this big rectangle, this big cuboid, because there wasn't slanted, you know, there's no glass stairs. This is a lovely greenhouse because of the peaked roof, and that's what lends it here. You've got these copper ones, you know, the ones that we've seen here over in the greenhouse, but you also have like just raw copper, or you know, unoxidized copper, oxidized copper. This looks like terracotta or stone bricks, but the one I'm really interested in is, this will be really nice for, like, you know, the Shire, like hobbit holes. But this is the one I'm really interested in, is I want to make a village in our different areas, and these roofs will really kind of give that nice medieval vibe that I'm going for. So, like any add-on, you spawn in with a book. This is the furniture add-on. I think it's version 1.4 by XP Games. There's tons of information in here. I won't go through it now, but there's 48 pages in here that gives you a kind of background into all the different things. This add-on costs 1,340 mine coins. That's roughly €8 as of July 2025. So 1340 for those that might struggle with numbers a little bit. And yeah, I haven't used this in our world yet, but I'm already so excited to. As I kind of said, the slates alone convinced me to get this. €8 for some roofs, not happening, but everything else that's included here is just so worth it in my opinion, and I really can't wait to use it in our further world. All I will say is that, you know, this is a creative world where I just picked and chose whatever I wanted. Let's get into a survival world and see how expensive this is. How expensive is this? How expensive are these? I can't wait for these iron beams to cost us a fortune. But why not? You know, we've all the time in the world. and it just gives us another target to hit. Is we need 200 iron to make our iron beam prison or whatever in our forever world. So that's our trip to MineKEA. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative, because with a lot of the add-ons I find there's not a lot out there. There's tons of YouTube videos out there, but they don't really get into the nitty-gritty. So I hope you found this useful. Whether it convinced you to get this add-on or not, that's what these videos are for. And if you want to learn more or see these kind of things in action, please check out the Forever World in the next, I suppose, in the upcoming episodes. And yeah, I'll leave it here, folks. Thank you very much for listening. Like and subscribe if you're so inclined. Look after each other. Spread love and peace. And I'll see you in the next one.